Well, thank you, friends. Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Well, this week was 9/11. 18 years ago. Now, for many, that's a lifetime. Now, if you did not, then please go light a candle and honor the lives of the more than 3,000 killed in terror and demonstrate the spirit of freedom, which will never be quenched. Like 40 years earlier, everyone remembering where they were when Kennedy was assassinated, everyone remembers where they were when freedom was assassinated. Far between the sundown's finish and midnight's broken toe, we ducked inside the doorway, thunder crashing as majestic bells of bolts struck shadows in the sands, seeming to be the chimes of freedom flashing for the warriors whose strength is not to fight, flashing for the refugees on the unarmed road of flight, and for each and every underdog soldier in the night, we gazed upon the chimes of freedom flashing. And it'll certainly take a lot more than that to take our freedom away. Also, this week I want to wish a happy birthday to Alex and to Alicia, two very special people who share a birthday, and I hope that it's a great one. Now, we're only 2 weeks to the end of the month, which means the beginning of a new month and a new year, because it's a special month, the high holidays, when you can initiate the new year in a new year of self-improvement. Now, take it a step at a time, my friends. Don't try and change the world. Change yourself. Because when you do change yourself, you change all the people around you, and that, in effect, changes your world. Somehow, people must be free. I hope that they come soon. Won't you please come to Chicago? Show your face. From the bottom of the ocean to the mountains of the moon, won't you please come to Chicago? No one else can take your place. We can change the world, rearrange the world. It's dying if you believe in justice, dying if you believe in freedom, dying, let a man live his own life, dying, rules and regulations, who needs them? Open the door. Open the door, my friends. Now, the great Graham Nash wrote that over 50 years ago, and we're still working on changing the world, each of us. There's always another Chicago. Now, it's a day-by-day job, my friends. Do not worry about others changing the world. Change your own little corner yourself and never stop changing it. Now, let's take this opportunity to gather and welcome everybody we know who's changing the world as a community of like-minded, like-souled individuals in search of unification of spirit, the collective consciousness of seekers in a showing of faith, of love, a community, a chavura, a fellowship expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Shabbat Gam Yacha. Hine Matov. Shabbat Gam Yacha. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, 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 together. And it's all about being together, my friends, as a community. So let's all spread love, goodwill, fellowship to the world. Remember, this is your sending some of the goodwill we all generate out to the universe, whether it's on the Sabbath or not. Remember, Sabbath's not a Saturday, it's simply a day of ceasing. Whatever day, it's a day to spend all the time you can with family, with friends, with loved ones. We have that brief chance every time we take a stoppage of what we do to both praise and imitate God, creation, life itself. So do it for yourself, do it for your friends, do it for your family. Now, we may not always be aware of what's happening, but believe it or not, God's always aware and always talking to us. So like I said last time, I want you to just try and listen a little bit more every week. And let's take this moment to invoke blessings and healings and renewal for everybody everywhere, for everybody you know, and for the souls and spirits of everybody you know. So think of whoever, focus on them, call their names. It's not just for people, it's for our pets, it's for the earth, it is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. Friends, the world is a work in progress, which is why we are obliged to fix it, by fixing ourselves. And that's the real meaning of the tikkun olam. It's about fixing ourselves to fix the world. Well, let's send some renewal, some healing, some goodwill for Jen, for Natalie on their loss, for Dolores, for Bob, for Karen and Nikki, for my new friend Curtis, who's about to have surgery and is worrying about it, for Tony, who would give anyone the shirt off his back, and always for Rosemary. She was not feeling well, but she is so much better now. She feels the love and kindness you all send out. And of course, my friends, renewal for all of you, because you need renewal too. It is the kindness, healing, wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit. And spirit, my friends, never dies. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us sing. Amen. Tisha, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, in which we call upon God to heal as He is healed before Mishaberach. May He who blessed, because healing is a blessing. So let's all heal as we pray for renewal and show gratitude for the wonders of our lives. Now, in this book of retelling of the law, Mishnah HaTorah, Deuteronomy, there's little nuggets to be found always, even though it is a repetition. And this week's no exception. There are laws regarding marriage, divorce, sexual relations. There's an incredible reminder of why this book is so different as we read tetze when you go forth. You see, in this code of laws is the constant grain of ethical law, moral law, ethical treatment, respect for humanity, decency. We saw it with the treatment of strangers, aliens. We saw it with the care for widows, orphans. We see it again this week. We saw it with the respect for human dignity. You can't keep a robe that someone needs for cover. You got to pay your workers every day so that they have what they need. But now, we get laws specifically for respect for female captives. Deuteronomy 21:10. When you'll go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God will put him in your hand, and you'll take prisoners from him, and you'll see among the prisoners a woman with a beautiful figure. You'll be attracted to her and take her for yourself as a wife. Now, there's an old saying, all is fair in love and war. Now, the implication is that rules of proper conduct can be suspended when fighting on the field of battle and when playing on the field of romance. They call them decorated heroes. Pin some medals on their chest. Give them a tiny little pension. Could we do much less? They say all is fair in love and war, but that ain't true, it's wrong. They ship you out to die for us, forget about you when you don't. You know, there's actually a lot about soldiers this week, various aspects of service. Now, a soldier in the heathen army would have no compunction over taking, raping, and disposing of a captive woman. Not so in Israel's army. The Torah disagrees. This business about, all's fair in love and war doesn't exist here. So let's continue with what that saying, that section of the Torah said. Okay, so you see this woman and you want her for your wife. Then you shall bring her into your house. She shall shave her head, do her nails, and take away her prisoner's garment from her. And she shall live in your house and shall mourn her father and her mother for a month of days. And after that, you may come to her and marry her, and she shall become your wife. Okay, now some would say she cuts her hair and nails so as to be less attractive, so that the man who's attracted to her will become less infatuated. Some would say it's part of her mourning ritual. But what pervades the elements of the law is an extraordinary sensitivity to the humanity of the captured woman. Contrary to one of the most common practices of war, the Israelite soldier is not permitted to rape her. He can only take her as a wife. But even then, he must give her time to mourn the loss of her family, a month of days. And if he takes her as a wife, but then decides to reject her, he must let her go completely free. And the text uses the same verb as in the law of divorce, which is talked about here. And the text recognizes that he has degraded her. And so he cannot treat her like a slave to be sold. He cannot receive money for her from anyone else. And notably, my friends, the words that are used for degrading her and for letting her go are the same words that are used to describe the Egyptians' degrading of Israel and then letting Israel go. And as I keep reminding you, same words mean you have to look at it the same way. Israel learns from its experiences of enslavement. Israel not only celebrates its own release, but it learns to have compassion for others as well. Now we see it with the captive, we see it with the orphans, with the widows, with strangers. Friends, we are our brother's keeper. Our job is to respect the humanity, dignity, human decency of anyone and everyone. We're reminded to make sure those around us are cared for. Their property is cared for. Deuteronomy 22:1. You shall not see your brother's ox or his sheep driven off, and you hide yourself from them. You shall bring them back to your brother. Now we're told even if we do not know our brother, the obligation stands. We have to help. And it is for the same for all of his property. Now more than anything, this little retelling of law is the prime demonstration of the principle in Judaism: what is hateful to you, don't do to your neighbor. If nothing else, live your life like that, and you cannot go wrong. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, and be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love. We're coming up on the season. And especially yourself. Include yourself in that group. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Don't just think they know. You got to tell them. Take advantage of the time you have with them. Enjoy the journey, because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intention and use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. Now, as I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what is good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness, but do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you, as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is, without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. And keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle. Just as I have faith in the principle of love in all of you, act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none, cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real strength lies in consciousness and the ability for you to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. So make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you, because you're never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessings to everyone you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across, because we're all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. Your words, my friends, are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous. Bless others and bless yourself. And love with the heart, because we're all part of the greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief and see what they mean to you. And never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together. We help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives. So find them and tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. You are being watched out for, so always be kind. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Do not get caught in fear. Forgiveness comes from acceptance, and that brings peace. Peace can last forever. And you don't have to just wait 2 weeks to spend the 10 days, forgiving and celebrating. It's a lifelong thing. So with the 2 weeks to go before we begin the new year, the 10 days of awe, when we look deep in our hearts and face the mirror of truth, we see the choices we made, the why, the where they brought us. We can start that process of forgiveness anytime, and we can hold on to it. I could feel at the time there was no way of knowing. Fallen leaves in the night. Who can say where they're blowing? As free as the wind. Hopefully learning why the sea on the low tide has no way of turning. More than this, there is not a thing. More than this, tell me one thing. More than this, there is not a thing. Well, friends, there's always something. And the one more thing is love. See yourself, see the choices of life, see the world. Start forgiving. Start making a difference. Shabbat Shalom. Have a great week. Celebrate love and blessings to you all. And happy birthday to Alex and Alicia. Take care. Bye.